Hi, this is Ben Fanning, Chief Engagement Officer, and your guide for creating the job you love without quitting. And today I'm going to offer you a project planning shortcut that can help you get better results. A friend of mine contacted me recently about this sheet that appears in a lot of my videos that's project planning related, and he asked for some details, so I thought I would record this for him as well as you watching today, because I think this can apply to you if you work in a corporate organization, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you fit somewhere in between, or heck, maybe you're just doing a big project for a volunteer organization. And one of the keys is to make this as easy and painless and maybe even a little fun, so you'll stay on top of your projects, get them done on time, and have that sense of confidence and that you're getting things done on time and according to the deadlines that you set. So the first thing to do is to realize what you're wearing. Believe it or not, this is my World Domination t-shirt from a conference that I went to that I really recommend, actually. And the reason I'm wearing a t-shirt today, because project planning is a hands-on process, and it does get messy, and it pays to get comfortable. Wear your jeans, roll your sleeves up, because this is going to be something that you put your whole body into. So that's part one, is to actually loosen up, roll the sleeves up, and get ready to get down and dirty when it comes to project planning. The next thing is to get a pack of Post-it notes. Okay, now you can use Excel, you can use Microsoft project planning technology, Asana. I mean, there are a lot of different project planning tools out there, but I'm here to give you the quick shortcuts. And so just grab a pack of Post-it notes. And what we're going to use these for is to be the clay on the wheel as we go through. We're going to write down certain topics, and that's going to help us generate this. The next thing you want is you want to get a hold of this. Okay. This is just something you can get at Staples or at your office, and it's a gigantic Post-it note generator. So we have little tiny Post-it notes and big Post-it notes. And you don't have to use this. You can use a wall if you want, or a whiteboard, but I like this because you can put your Post-it notes on here for your project, tear it off, and then place it anywhere around the different areas of your office. You can actually move it from one office to the next if you're getting feedback. So it just makes it really transportable. The next thing that I want to mention is in addition to what you're wearing, as well as making sure you have these easy tools, is to make sure that you protect time for it. Since project planning isn't something that necessarily is always the highest urgency on the list, you probably got other things, like maybe something that your boss has put on your plate, or things you have to get done, or a certain aspect of the project that you're focused in on. It just seems like things are constantly getting in the way. And by far the hardest thing for me in project planning is always, you heard that thunder? Duh, duh, duh. That's because it's so ominous, right? Because project planning will never take place if you don't create the space. So block some time on your calendar. I recommend for your first go at it, just block an hour and get done what you can get done in that 1 hour, but protect it specifically for project planning. And the next thing I recommend, this is the last thing before we actually get into the quick process, is to make sure that you've got an accountability partner, or at least someone that you can share this with. The first time I went through this was with one of my mentors, Pam Slim, and her mastermind group that we were in, which was a great mastermind group. And this is one of the process that we went through. And I actually had people in the room with me as I went through it. I articulated it, and just saying it out loud and having other people there and involved and checking in with me periodically on how I was doing has made a huge difference. And when it comes to project planning, it turns out it's best done if you're not alone in the process. All right, so that's the first part. Now the second part is, how do you do this really, really quickly? Well, the first thing is to list your projects at the top of the paper. And I recommend looking at a time span of what projects do you want to get done in 3 months, or what projects do you want to get done in 6 months. Look at one of those time frames, choose your own adventure. Here I had three projects that I was really focusing in on over a 6-month period. And it was related to my business. One is related to speaking. I really enjoy public speaking, so I wanted to do more of that, and I wanted to generate more opportunities for that. And so think about in your work day, when you're thinking about projects, what would be the most important. So if you look back over your shoulder in 3 months, what would be the best outcome? What is that really important project? I don't recommend doing this for planning your workday, but for planning a specific project that's really important. So for me, in this complicated looking thing, is talking about generating speaking opportunities as well as consulting opportunities within organizations. And so this is the process. So write 3 at the top, 1, 2, 3, or maybe instead of writing 3, maybe just start with 1, but write them at the top, all right? So you'll have write 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. The next part is you just want to take this Post-it note pack, and you may need more than one, and what you want to do is you want to just give yourself permission. Oh, by the way, this should just take maybe 5-10 minutes to write your project headings. Then maybe going to spend 20 to 30 minutes, take a Post-it note and write down a single step on each one. It's really important that you've got an action on each little Post-it note, and maybe that's reaching out for somebody. Maybe that's contacting somebody. For me, it was generating, for speaking, turns out people want to see examples of you speaking. So that was one of the important steps. So create speaker page on my website, create the speaker reel from examples of previous talks that I've given, and going down to templates on how I reach out to people, and just having a really structured process. Before I start reaching out to people, for example, I need to have the speaker reel and speaker page done. And so, and this part of it, just write out all these different actions on these Post-it notes. And then comes the magic of doing this, okay? After you get everything listed, all these steps, they're not necessarily going to be in a proper order. But that's why we're using Post-it notes, because you can just put these Post-it notes right on everything. You can put them on, you can just list out, you can just put like hundreds of these, listing them out, putting them up everywhere, and your wall can be covered with these things, and that's the beauty of it. And then once you get them all up there, okay, then what you want to do is start placing them underneath your projects in order. That's it. Okay, so before I reach out to so-and-so or decision makers that need speakers or whatever, I'll create the speaker page. So those go up here. So you just arrange the Post-it notes accordingly. Pretty simple, right? And that serves as a reminder of the steps you need. Now the last part is something that I added that I think is really, really important, is to list out where you need help, okay? Where do you need help on your projects? So you take maybe a different color Post-it note, which I don't have in hand, but these are orange, so maybe you take a pink one or whatever. And maybe, for example, I'm mentioning speaking opportunities and speaking on stage and whatnot. And so getting the speaker page done, I can do, but getting the speaker reel done and editing video is something where I need some assistance. So although I have the footage, which is part of this process, and getting all that together, it's making sure that there is someone that I'm identifying on the project to actually help me. So I make those a different color. So film editor, in this case, is written in blue. Okay? And I'm making notes. Here's a researcher, professional designer. So that is some assistance that I am making note of as I go through this process. And really that's it. And then you just start working the process. But again, you've got a visual reminder that is right there in front of your face every day that you can't miss. And you just start working this list. And maybe if as you get them done, you can take them off and tear them up, or you can put a check, or you can just leave them up as a visual reminder of how far you've come in the first place, which that is the process that I like to follow, because I've liked to see the road that I've traveled, and it's worked out really well because I get to share this with you today. So this has been Ben Fanning over at benfanning.com. Go on over there to get quick tips from my book, The Quit Alternative, as well as other free resources. And I look forward to speaking to you again. If you have any questions about project planning, I'd be happy to take them. You can email me at ben@benfanning.com, or just leave a quick message below this video, and I'll address them in a future video or respond in the comments. Talk to you soon.